Hello everyone, welcome to my session. Today I'm going to discuss about the topic the freedoms of air. Before going to my session, I would like to introduce myself. I am Arya, Assistant Professor from the Department of Travel and Tourism, St. Albert's College Autonomous Ernakulam. Aviation industry is considered as one of the fastest growing industry in the world because millions of people are traveled by air every year. The travel by air is considered as the very fastest as well as the standardized services. In the year 1944, the Chicago Convention, which held in Chicago in US, has laid the foundation of many principles related to the aviation industry. The freedoms of air are one among it. What exactly the freedoms of air? The freedoms of air are set of commercial aviation rights which granting a country's airline the privilege to enter and land in another country's airspace. Actually, these freedoms of air are formulated as a result of disagreement over the extent of aviation liberalization at the Chicago Convention. At that time, the US had called for standardized set of separate air rights to be negotiated with the countries. But many of the countries were aware that the size of the US flight will definitely dominate the airline industry if there were not strict rules. So, the freedoms of air are considered as the fundamental building blocks for the international aviation air route network. So, there are 9 freedoms of air. Among that, the first 5 freedoms are agreed by all the countries, but remaining 4 freedoms have yet to be agreed by some of the countries. Let's have a look into it. The first freedom says that it's a right of an aircraft to fly over the territory of another foreign country. For an example, Air India flight. Air India flight is a flag carrier of India. Air India flight is traveling from Delhi to Dubai over the territory of Pakistan without landing there. That freedom is called first freedoms of air. The second freedom says that it's a right of an aircraft to land in a foreign country for non-commercial purposes. What is meant by non-commercial purposes? The non-commercial purpose means it may be for a technical reason or for refueling purposes. For an example, the US airline flight from US to Germany landing airline mainly for the purpose of refueling. So it is called the second freedoms of air. Next, the third freedom. Third freedom says that it is a right of an aircraft to carry the revenue traffic from a home country to a foreign country. That means, for an example, Air India flight traveling from Delhi to John F. Kennedy. They are carrying the passenger and cargo from Delhi. That is their home country, India. They are carrying the passenger and cargo from the home country and flying to John F. Kennedy. It's a foreign country, the city in a foreign country, that is USA, where they deplane the passengers and cargo. That is called the third freedom. And the fourth freedom says that it is a right of an aircraft to carry the revenue traffic from a foreign country to a home country. It's just the opposite of the third freedom. The simple example is that Indigo Airline. Indigo Airline is a budget airline of India. So they are carrying the passengers and cargo from the foreign country. For example, they are carrying the passenger and cargo from Dubai to India, to Kochi. They are traveling. That's called the fourth freedoms of air. Next is fifth freedom. Fifth freedom says that it is a right of an aircraft to carry the revenue traffic from a home country to a foreign country. There they embark or disembark the passengers and travel to another foreign country. It is sometimes called beyond the right. Why it is called beyond the right? Because they are carrying the revenue traffic between the foreign countries. Here I have given an example that Northwest Airlines of USA are traveling from Los Angeles to Hong Kong via Tokyo. From Los Angeles in USA, they are carrying the passengers and cargo from Los Angeles and flying to Tokyo, where they embark and disembark the passengers and cargo and flying to Hong Kong, where they deplane the passengers and cargo. It is called the fifth freedoms of air. The sixth freedom says that it's the right of an aircraft to carry the revenue traffic from a foreign country to a home country. From there, pick up the passengers and carry to another foreign country. That is called the sixth freedom. It is a combination of both third and fourth freedom. Here given an example that KLM flight. It's a Royal Dutch airline. It is a flag carrier of Netherlands. So they are carrying the passenger from New York in America, from New York to Cairo via Amsterdam. So they are carrying the passengers and cargo from New York From there, they travel to Amsterdam in Netherlands. That's their home country. From there also, they pick up the passenger cargo and traveling to Cairo in Egypt. This is called the 6 freedoms of air. The 7th freedom says that it's the right of an aircraft to carry the revenue traffic between the foreign country, but they do not offer flight to the home country. That means they are carrying the passengers and cargo between the foreign countries only. For an example, here in Lufthansa airline, which is a flag carrier of Germany, they are traveling between London to Paris, but they are not offering flight to Germany. That is called the 7th freedom. Next is 8th freedom. It says that it is the right of an aircraft to carry the revenue traffic from one point to another point in a foreign country on the flight which is originating from the home country. That means here the Air Canada flight. Air Canada flight is traveling from Canada. They are starting their travel from the Canada and flying to ORD. ORD is an airport in the Chicago. From Chicago to Los Angeles. Both are USA. So both are the domestic airport in the USA. So instead, 8th freedom is sometimes called the consecutive cabotage. Cabotage means that it is a transport of air and cargo in a different port in the same country by a foreign carrier. Here, they are transporting the revenue traffic between 2 points in a foreign country. So it is called the consecutive cabotage. Next, the 9th freedom. 9th freedom says that it is the right of an aircraft to carry the traffic from one point to another point in a foreign country, but they do not offer a flight to the home country. They are operating between the domestic points in a home country. These are the main 9 freedoms which is related to the aviation industry. Among these freedoms, the first and second freedoms are called the transit right. What is called the transit right? Because it's a right of an aircraft to pass through the countries without carrying the revenue traffic that is originating or terminating from there. The other freedoms from 3rd to 9th freedom, it is called the traffic right because they have the right to carry the revenue traffic between the countries or between the places they are traveling and landing. These are the basic rights which is concerning in the aviation industry. According to these freedoms of air, most of the international airlines are operating around the world. I hope the freedoms of air are clear from my session. Thank you all for watching.